Doug in Houston, Texas. It says here you disagree with me, so you go to the front of the line. What's up, Doug?
Well, y'all easily forget that talk about how the Republicans are harassing, and that's how we do things. But Maxine Waters specifically said a long time ago, you see a Republican politician, make sure they feel unwelcome and get out and harass.
Yeah, right. Doug, something that whether or not she said that, number one, I don't know.
She did.
Number two, that is a completely different thing from surrounding a campaign bus, slowing down to 20 miles an hour, banging into cars, creating a hazard on the highway. As I said, I have no objection to people flying Trump flags. I have no objection to people flying Trump. It doesn't matter. They slowed down to 20 miles an hour on the highway. You had the people on the bus dialing 911. That's intimidation. That is not, if people are flying Trump flags, God bless them. If they're flying Biden flags, God bless them. This is America. We can express our political opinions, but expressing your political opinions and slowing somebody down in traffic are two completely different things.
Well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion.
How can you not understand that, Doug?
She said that
this is not about this is not about anybody. I'm talking about what happened in Texas over the weekend, and Donald Trump Jr. calling for it to happen, and then Donald Trump Sr. bragging about it afterwards. Let's intimidate people. How can you call yourself a patriotic American, Doug, if you think that political intimidation is a good thing? That's the kind of crap that they pull in authoritarian countries.
What are you?
I'm listening, Doug.
I said, why don't y'all even try to convince me why I should vote for Biden without just talking about how bad Trump is? Nobody can give me anything positive.
Okay. How about he doesn't want to take away your protections against pre-existing conditions? How about he wants to make sure that Social Security and Medicare are solid? How about he wants to make sure that long-term unemployment protection is still there? Republicans are trying to destroy all those things, Doug, right now. They're going to be on the 10th of this month.
No, they're not.
They are going before the Supreme Court to strike down all of the Affordable Care Act, which includes your protection against pre-existing conditions. They've been working on this for 10 years.
We need to get rid of the ACA and Obamacare, the Obamacare, but they are not trying to get rid of your pre-existing. That is a lie, and you know it.
The protection against insurance companies saying, no, we're not going to cover your pre-existing conditions is part of the Affordable Care Act, Doug. If you strike that law down the next day, if the Supreme Court strikes that down on November 10th, I mean, obviously it's going to take a couple months, but if they struck it down on November 10th, on November 11th, you show up at the hospital with lung cancer, and they say, "Oh, you've been smoking for years. We're not going to pay for you." The next day,
that is untrue, and you know it. That is untrue, and you know it.
How is it untrue?
Out of all these progressive ones that
if the Supreme Court strikes down a law that says insurance companies can't do it, what makes you think that they can't do it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All righty, Doug. Anyhow, Brian in Ann Arbor. Hey, Brian, what's on your mind?
Thom, you got more patience than anybody I know.
Well, I think it's really important that competing voices be heard on my program and in the media in general.
I know that. I beg to do that. Okay, what I'm calling about is all of the mail-in voters need to determine whether or not their votes have been received by their election office. We don't know because you can't trace UPS mail. Those votes that have gone through the mail, you can't trace them because they're just like a letter or a postcard that you mail. So what they have to do, anybody that mailed in voting needs to check with their election office and see if their ballot has been received.
Right, and you can get to those offices by going to iwillvote.com and you plug in your zip code and they will connect you with your state election, Secretary of State election offices.
Well, you can also get connected to your Secretary of State's office and like that, and they'll show whether your ballot has been received. If they do that,
Yeah, no, that's
and
my
they need to
point.
do that
iwillvote.com is a portal that leads you to all of the state. It's run by the Democratic Party, but it's basically just a portal to the state Secretary of State's office. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you can use it.
They need to do that immediately. They don't have because if their ballot isn't there, they're going to have to vote tomorrow, or they're going to have to get on and they get a ballot in today. And
No, I'm with you, Brian. I'm with you. And it looks like, you know, nationwide, about half of the mail-in ballots that were sent out have not been returned. Although, you know, the post office right now is slowing down the mail substantially, particularly in the battleground states, oddly enough. Just by coincidence, of course, just by coincidence, in the battleground states, we are seeing the ballots being slowed down. It's just, I thought I had a list here of them. Apparently I don't.